Hey Yazzers, it's Audrey. I'm here to talk a little bit more about Brian Wright and his impact on our sport and the community and me as a person. I've got some notes here, so I will be periodically checking my notes. Anyway, he was definitely a one-of-a-kind person. And those of you that were fortunate enough to spend time with him, you knew he was always singing. Life was one gigantic musical to Brian. We'd be walking along in the mall, and all of a sudden he'd just burst into song. He was a skater. He skated at the national level in novice men, and he was a dancer, and I think he considered himself an actor. He always talked about wanting to do a one-man show someday, and he was a dancer with the Spectrum Dance Company in Seattle, Washington, and also with the Pacific Northwest Ballet, and he performed the role of Paul in a chorus line. I wish I could have seen that. He also was a stripper in Las Vegas, so he was multifaceted. And, your icons, Yazzers, that you've been creating. Well, Brian's apartment in Indianapolis had his silhouette and the silhouette of his very, very good friend, Lynn Eisenhower, on the wall. They just kind of took black paint and went around and traced out their outlines and then filled them in. So your icons are sort of a reminiscent tribute to his icons. I don't even think he was thinking icon. I think he just wanted to decorate his wall. And he worked for the Pacific Northwest AIDS Foundation, and one year he sold Christmas trees, which I thought was kind of funny. It was freezing out, and he's out there selling Christmas trees. And he was the kind of person that people, were drawn to because he was interesting and honest and very self-effacing and forthright. I think my greatest regret is that I never got to actually say goodbye to him. Toward the end, I think his health had deteriorated to the point where he didn't really want me to see him in person. He would call me periodically, and he was very, very clever about calling me. He would call at a time that he knew I was probably on the ice and leave messages. And the last message that he left me was 1 week before he passed. It rambled on and on about it's hot in Seattle, yada, 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 yak, yak. And then he said, I love you, I miss you, I mean it, bye. And for some reason, I saved that particular message on my voicemail. This was a long time ago when your voicemail was a recording, and I didn't normally save messages, but I saved that one. And you'll hear it on one of the Brian Wright tribute videos. So anyway, we'd always laughed about his flowers at his memorial, and I contacted a florist called Flowers on 15th in Seattle. And I asked them if they would accept donations and credit cards from a variety of people around the country. And they agreed to make an arrangement based on all the contributions towards his flower arrangements. So we collected over $1,500 worth of money for the flowers. And they were two gigantic arrangements that had to be hauled in 2 refrigerator trucks. Darren Hosier's going to post a photograph of them up on the Facebook page. And I think it was testimony to the impact that Brian had on people in the skating world. We have monuments to people that have large impact in the world. Martin Luther King's monument was just unveiled. The Washington Monument and the Jefferson Monument. Well, YAS is my monument to Brian Wright. And it's my way of keeping his memory alive and what he stood for and all the things that we have learned from him. I think if you hear some of the people that worked with him, like Heather McLaughlin and Rory Flack is going to, I think, speak for Robert's progress report. And, of course, Anita, in her bio, I don't know if you could tell, but she was definitely losing it when she was talking about Brian. He was that kind of person, the person that we love to be around, and we miss him so much that we want to keep his memory alive. And so Young Artist Showcase is one way for us to honor his life and his legacy in skating. And I'm very happy I got through that without blubbering, so I'll shut this off now. Talk to you soon. Bye.